everybody. This is Dr. Lori Shemek.
And I'm Omar Cumberbatch. You're listening to This Podcast Burns Fat. Hey, Lori, how are you today?
I am doing wonderful. Yeah, doing great. Looks like here comes a weather forecast for me.
Uh-oh. I thought we're
going to be in the, yeah, I know, the mid-30s tomorrow night. Can you believe it?
You know what? I can't.
That's
because
cold.
Being in New York and hearing
You're rolling your eyes at me.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm still amazed that Texas can get that.
I know. It gets really cold here. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But yeah. So are you excited about our guest today, James Keck?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. James really did a great job on this show because he has obviously an impressive weight loss journey. But what he was really, I think his highlight of the show, honestly, was the fact that he lost that weight so long ago and just has been able to keep it off. He's the author of Lose 20 Pounds and Keep It Off Forever. And he just gets into the concept of the 20-pound mark too. He really dives into that powerful. It's almost like a magical number when it comes to weight loss, and kind of just indicates if you could lose 20 pounds, you could lose 40 pounds. You could the same principles are going to apply throughout your weight loss journey, and that's how he's been able to keep it off as well.
Which is impressive. Yeah,
absolutely. So let's jump into
inspiring.
Yeah. Let's jump into it.
Okay.
Hey, James, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I am absolutely wonderful, and I'm so excited to be here.
That is great. We are so happy to have you. You are the guy who likes to talk about health and weight loss and all of that good stuff. And you actually have your own business where you do this, and you help people with their wellness. And you've been doing this since 2003, which is pretty amazing. So, yes.
I was just saying, I'm very fortunate, no question.
Yeah. And you are the author of Keep It Off Forever. And
right, my wife and I actually wrote Lose 20 Pounds, Keep It Off Forever, and it was published in 2017.
That's congratulations. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's wonderful. So we're all excited to have you. Can you I guess the one of the first things I'd like to ask you is, how do you, when somebody comes to you the very first time, how do you determine which road or which path to take with them?
Well, one thing that I am that kind of sets me apart from other people is I totally believe in a personalized plan, because we are all unique and we are all different. So what I like to do is take 30 minutes. I sit down with somebody absolutely free of charge, and we talk about their weight and their history with weight. And we kind of discuss what has worked for them in the past, because you're definitely going to want to do more of that, right?
Right.
And what hasn't worked for them, and try to figure out a way that they can use things that they can eat the foods that they enjoy eating, and they can do the activities that they love to do, and then put some personalized tools in there to help them overcome some of the other obstacles that might come back. So I'm a firm believer a plan has to be simple, it has to be natural, but most important, it needs to be personalized.
Oh, that's excellent. Yes.
So, James, how did you kind of dive into the weight loss arena? Did you have anything that you specifically had to overcome yourself, or your wife possibly? Just curious how it says became your calling.
Well, I would love to answer that question. I definitely had a problem when I grew up. I'm a tall, skinny guy. I was very active, never had even thought about weight. And then I was in my 30s and I started to gain pounds. I could not stop. I had a very stressful job, ate junk every day, never had time to exercise. And I just kept putting on the weight, and it got to the point. I'm a young man in my 30s. I was tired. I was achy and pained every day, and it was just horrible for me. I eventually gained over 65 pounds. Felt horrible, looked horrible, and my wife brought me a book, a diet book. I followed it. I followed the plan. It really resonated with me, and I lost 20 pounds. Woo! It was very exciting. Of course, I didn't know how to keep it off back then, so I put it back on as soon as I got off the plan. But that taught me that I was able to lose weight for the first time. I was able to lose pounds, so I knew it was possible. But most important, it made me realize I was ready to lose weight. I was tired of being embarrassed. I was tired of feeling sick and tired all the time. So that started me on my journey.
Wow, that is really something.
So just to kind of expand on that, a drop, what was it that eventually got you? Because obviously we know now that you've been able to keep it off for quite some time. What was the ultimate thing that made you lose the majority of that weight and keep it off?
Well, that was a huge lesson for me because losing weight is not the hard part because we all lose weight all the time. I lost weight probably, I don't know, 20 times in 20 years. It might have only been a pound or two. Sometimes it was more than that. But I'd always put some back on. So it was a learning experience, and it took me 20 years to figure out how to keep it off. Um, and when I started to work with my wife here at Kuma Health and Wellness, um, I was talking to people every day who were struggling with their weight, and I realized, oh my God, I have information that they could use. So that's why I started to work with people, and that's how I eventually wrote the book and developed a program to help these people. So that's kind of my journey there. I don't know if I quite answered your question totally there, Omar.
Yeah, no, just kind of a little follow up, like some of the strategies that you might have taken into just keep it off. Was it, because you did mention that you did read that diet book that was successful. I'm kind of curious what that book was, and maybe did
Ah,
you keep up with
th-
that going forward?
that diet book was Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And
Oh,
part of,
yeah.
yeah, it was about in the 90s. Um, I I learned diet and exercise are very important, but they're not enough, right? Diet, diet and exercise are very important. The reason that they're not enough is because of our minds. It's all in our minds. Losing weight, diet and exercise is great, and I'm a firm believer in that because I am all natural, and that's the only way to do it. But in order to keep it off, you have to train your brain, right? You have to change the way you think. You have to change your whole lifestyle, and that is not easy because our minds. We've been telling our minds for our entire life. For me, I love ice cream, right? And
Hmm.
my mind knows I love ice cream because my whole life I've been telling it, oh, ice cream makes me happy. So when I start to lose weight and I feel good and somebody offers me some ice cream and I say, I don't want that. I'm trying to be healthy. My mind knows that that's BS because it knows I love ice cream. So my
That's
mind,
true.
yeah, my mind wants me to be happy and comfortable and safe. And it thinks and it knows, I guess, that eating ice cream makes me happy. So the struggle doesn't come with the diet and exercise. The struggle comes because our minds are our minds can either help us or hinder us. They can sabotage us, they can discourage us, they can distract us. So really the important thing, if you want to keep it up, if you want to take control of your weight, you need to gain control of your mind. And that's a continuous experience.
That's really good information to know for people, because often they blame themselves, which I would say 90% of people do, when it's essentially just the brain's response to keeping us safe and happy. Um, what would you say would be the three blocks or the three impediments that people go through or don't go through, rather, that promote weight gain?
Oh, that's a really, really great question. And I think the part of that would be what we were just talking about is that
Right.
we don't, when we're focused and we're motivated, it's very easy to do something, including losing weight. Not that losing weight is easy, but it's easier because you're focused. And
Mhm.
if you um if you lose sight of that, you have a bad day, or um you have a bad day, so you feel sorry for yourself, so you're going to eat, or you had a good day and you want to reward yourself, so you skip the gym. Little things like that. So if that's the mind, controlling your mind is a huge part of that.
It's powerful. Yeah.
And for me, the little bumps are big. And you were talking about people blaming themselves, and that's such a huge thing. If I go out today and I'm feeling bad and I go have a hamburger and supersize my fries and have ice cream, I am going to feel horrible. I'm going to wake up tomorrow, I'm going to be off the wagon. You think I'm going to eat healthy tomorrow? Do you think I'm going to go to the gym? No, because I'll be feeling too bad for myself. So that's an obstacle, is when you screw up, it's very hard to get back on track.
That's another really good point. Yes. And
I got a third one here for you. And this happened to me just last winter. I was doing a little, I had gained a little every December. I gained a few pounds, too much candy, too much stress, not enough exercise. So I was doing a little, I was just taking 2 or 3 weeks and I was losing 10 pounds. And I slipped on ice. I live in Chicago and we had a lot of ice, and I slipped on the ice and cracked a rib.
Oh, no.
And so all of a sudden, instead of losing weight, I was very limited. I couldn't walk. I couldn't,
you can't breathe.
I can hardly breathe. Right. So instead of losing 10 pounds, I probably gained 5 pounds. And I see this happening when I work with people. They get all excited. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go to the gym and start tomorrow. Well, that first day or the first week at the gym, they overdo it and they're in pain, and they take a couple of days off, and that couple of days turns into a couple of weeks, and they never get back on track. So that would be my third example.
That's excellent. Very, very good.
Yeah, no, those are great points. So one of the things that obviously the title of your book is, lose 20 pounds, keep it off forever. What is the significance of 20 pounds? You also mentioned in 2 months. Why is that number such a significant number to attain?
Well, 20 pounds, once you learn how to lose 20 pounds, you can use those same tools, same principles, same strategies to lose as much as you want. And I've had people go through this program, lose over 100 pounds, but it's in smaller increments, but it's using the same tools, same strategies. So, but up to that 20 pounds, you're teaching yourself how to lose weight. So it takes a little while. Now I am all natural. I want people to eat what they enjoy. I want people to exercise and have activities that they do every day that they love to do. And 2 months is important because it's not healthy to lose a lot of weight. And there's a lot of quick and easy weight loss things out there. I don't want to name any. And there's pills and there's lots of ways to lose weight, but unhealthy ways. And it's not healthy to lose 5 or 10 pounds a week. What I found was between 1 and 2.5 pounds a week. It's slow, it's steady, it's natural, and your body adjusts to it. The problem, if you lose weight too fast, you gain it back on too fast. So for me, if losing 10 pounds a month, which is 2.5 pounds a week, is a way for your body to keep adjusting as you go, so you're not going to rebound back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And I just want you to emphasize that a little bit as well, because what is the exact mechanism of why it bounces back so much? Because that's one of the things that I try to tell my clients is like, just chill out. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Gradual is the key. But there is also some method behind our bodies getting that rebound weight. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah. And remember, I'm not a scientist, but I have helped hundreds of people with their weight. And it seems to me that our bodies reach plateaus. And when I was losing the 65 pounds, I might lose 10 pounds and then stay at that 10-pound mark for weeks or even months, even though I'm doing the same thing. I'm eating the food and I'm exercising, and it gets very frustrating. But I believe it's the body is adjusting to that new weight, right? Because they're used to being operating at a certain level that is not optimum. And now it's getting better and it's getting more optimum. So I think it's our bodies that are telling us, just chill. We're gonna get there, but there's no rush. And if you try to force it, and if you need to get into that wedding dress or the your daughter's wedding, and you got to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, you could do it. But I've never heard of anyone being able to keep that weight off.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So you have you say you can develop simple habits that cost less and work better than expensive diet plans and eating fattening unhealthy stuff. What is just a couple habits that can help somebody here today?
I love that question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go through like three little steps here, because number one is diet. And I I hate the word diet, because a diet makes you
Mm-hmm.
think that you're denying yourself something that you really like. So I tell people, forget about dieting. All you have to do is eat better, right? Eating better is
Exactly.
easy. And eating better makes you feel good about yourself, because your mind, oh, your mind, you love to eat. Your mind knows you love to eat. So all you have to do is eat better. You don't have to eat perfect. Nobody can eat perfect, but we can all eat better. And it's the same way with exercise. Exercise sounds like, oh, I gotta get hot, I gotta get sweaty, I gotta get my lazy butt off the couch and go to the gym. But you know what? If you like riding bikes, if you like walking, if you like swimming, do what you love to do. Do it every day. Do something every day. And so you eat better every day. You move more every day. You don't exercise,
Mm-hmm.
you move more.
Right.
And then the third part of that is getting help. I'm a firm believer that we can't do it by ourselves. Hey, if we
Mm-hmm.
could have done it ourselves, we would have done it already, right?
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
and I love the idea of getting help, because when you have support, friend, family member, trainer, coach, and any kind of help, your odds of success go up like 90 times. It's incredible
It
statistics.
is. It's
So
really powerful. Yeah.
it is.
When you have accountability, it really makes a difference.
Yeah, it really is.
Mhm.
So that's the journey that I bring everybody through. But the very first thing I do is we sit down and we make a plan. And no, I know nobody plans to gain weight, but I don't think it's possible to lose weight without a plan. It's certainly not possible to keep it off. So that's the first number one thing I do with everybody, is making a plan, because the better plan you have, the better choices you can make.
So one of the things, I'm glad that you brought up the plan. Are you assessing these individuals and they come out with, say, something that's completely outlandish as far as your perspective of how they're capable of tackling their vision for themselves? How do you navigate that? Because I think a lot of people have unrealistic expectations about weight loss.
Yeah, sometimes they do. And I have actually worked with people who had a problem with the structure or discipline. Not that a plan has to be bad or me, like hard to do, but some people's minds don't work quite that same way. But what I do is I sit down. This is my gift. When I was in the corporate world, I was a project manager. So I did a lot of environmental and construction projects. And the first thing I would do was sit down and make a plan, because that's our blueprint. And the plan never goes as planned. But if you don't have a plan, I don't think you have a chance. So what I try to do is help that person look at their past and go, what has worked for you, right? When you have lost weight in the past, what has worked for you? When you're eating healthy foods, what kind of foods do you like? Because that's where you have to start, is doing
It's
something that you're comfortable
sustainability. Yeah.
with. Yeah, and the same with the exercise part. What do you love to do? And I had two ladies, two friends, who had both had over 100 pounds to lose, and and truthfully, when I told them this is going to take a year or more to lose this weight, and they were both very they wanted something, they wanted some pills or something, I think. But we sat down and we talked about, started to write the plan out on what they could do and what they enjoy doing. And you know what? They started by going to the pool every day and walking up and down the pool, just to get exercises. They weren't comfortable walking even around the block, so they took those baby steps to start at the pool. And then a couple months later, they were doing a few laps, and
Wow.
Um, and so they went from being kind of uh, not really scared, but very disappointed that this was going to be a longer journey, to having a year where they both enjoyed themselves. They both lost weight. Neither one lost 100 in that year, but they both lost well over 50. And I believe the last time I talked to one of them that they are still going to the pool together a couple times a week. So, and they both reached that 100-pound goal too. Um,
Wow.
so that makes me feel really good, because
Yeah.
those were two people that I didn't think would be able to have a success with any plan, truthfully, and they both were shining. They're my shining examples of what can be done.
That's really I love stories like that because essentially they took control of their health and they're
Oh
shining
yeah,
examples, of the baby steps, if you will, up to 100 pounds lighter. So I love that.
and it was
What?
all them. I just helped show them the way and work with
Right.
them, but it was them.
Right. I know. I love that. And like you say or underscore sustainability in exercise or eating, the types of foods you choose to eat make a world of difference. Seriously. It is like it's so important to like the food you're eating and to like the type of movement you choose each day. I think about the goat herders that are 90 years old herding their goats on a very steep hill somewhere in Italy, right? That's somebody who is physically fit and living a long time. So that's just if you keep moving, you'll be a step ahead. So what would you say, and everyone has a different opinion on this, is a healthy meal? So what would be like on your plate, for example?
Oh, well, you know what, I might be a little unusual because my wife and I haven't eaten meat for quite a few years. I don't have any problem with meat. It's just,
Hmm.
but we're salad people, and that produce section is gold to me. And I don't have a problem. I'll have a little bread. I'll eat things that aren't the healthiest in the world, but every day I have at least a big salad, all
That's
fresh
great.
produce. And uh, and hopefully, if I'm in a hurry, I just throw some spinach in a blender into my NutriBullet and make a little shake with some protein powder, and I'm kind of good to go. In fact, when people have a fast food, they say you have to have fast food, right? I got a busy schedule. Uh, I can't stop. I can't stop and cook anything. I say go to the big grocery store. The produce section's always in the front. You could go in, buy an apple and some walnuts, or yogurt, and be out of there in 5 minutes. That's about as fast food as you can get, and you're eating healthy and you're eating fresh. So you don't need to go to the fast food restaurants to eat fast food.
Oh, absolutely. I guess, one of the things that I've been noticing about myself with dieting and just, having so many guests over the years, I think I'm the type of person who needs like some structure. So I do always ask the question of like, is there anything that we should be absolutely avoiding and eliminating from our diet?
That is an awesome question. When I do my talks and my webinar, I talk about three things. I'm only asking people to stop, not eat three things in their life. I try to make life real simple. But the first one is trans fats or hydrogenated oils, processed foods like margarine, packaged items like crackers, cookies, comfort foods like ice cream, chocolate. The trans fats are toxic. They're addicting. There's no safe levels of consumption. The other one is high fructose corn syrup.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's in soda's the biggest user. It's cheap. It's a cheap sweetener, but it's even in our ketchup. I mean, it's crazy. And
It's
once again,
terrible.
it's toxic. It's addicting. And then the
Hmm.
third is MSG, and we think of that with Chinese food, but no, they put MSG in so much because MSG is makes you want to keep eating more. So I tell you, if you give up the high fructose corn syrup, the trans fats, and the MSG, that single taking those three things out of your diet, all of a sudden makes your diet so much healthier and makes you less of a slave to your food.
I love that. Those are important points, really. And so I would just have a question about, do you use supplements for your clients, for yourself?
I do not use specifically weight loss supplements at all,
Mm-hmm.
but absolutely we use supplements in my life. The nice thing about owning a wellness center is we do have supplements, around, and sometimes they expire. So I end up eating them because I'm bohemian. I'm a little cheap. So, but every day I do zinc and D and E. I love vitamin C, especially when I'm not feeling good. So
Mm-hmm.
those kind of supplements for my general health, absolutely. As far as food goes, I do like a little extra protein because I found without meat that I'm just a little short. So if I get 20 or 30 extra grams of protein a day, I function a lot better.
Protein is absolutely critical for optimal health and longevity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very important you do that. Yeah.
Well, James, thank you so much for all this information. We really got a lot out of this today. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to have the audience get to know you a little bit better offline and just get to know you and what you're up to as far as, just all this knowledge around weight loss, specifically around these manageable steps that we can use. So do you have a website, social media handles? Of course, can we get your book? Can you share that with us?
Well, I will absolutely. My website is www.dropzonehealthyweight.com, just like it's spelled. And I actually have two gifts for everyone listening to this podcast. Number one is a free downloadable copy of my book, Lose 20 Pounds, Keep It Off Forever. It's a good read, and there's information in there people can use right away to start taking control of their weight.
Nice.
And all you have to do is click on the free book tab on my website, dropzonehealthyweight.com. And I was talking a lot about a plan today, and that is always the first step. And that's my gift, is helping people put a plan together that works. And their plan's going to change every week and get better and better and better. But that first plan is so important. And I found that some people can read my book and put it together themselves and make it work for them, but most people can't. It's because it's new information, it's different experience. So what I do is I offer a free, what I call a discovery session, where I will take 20, 30 minutes. We will sit down together and we'll start making a plan that works for you, to eating the food you like, doing the things that you love doing, and finding the information, the motivation, and the support that people need to take that next step. And that is also on my website, and it's absolutely free. And I am here to give people as much information as I can. That's what I do. And if they want more information, if they want more help after that, I do have the Drop Zone Healthy Weights, a wonderful program. I've had people all over the globe go through the program, and that's also that information is on the website. So dropzonehealthyweight.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, James. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you. I had so much fun, and I really love you guys. So,
well, we love you.
Yeah, love you too, James. I appreciate you taking the time out and sharing all that information with us.
We do.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of This Podcast Burns Fat. We're so excited to have you as a listener, and we're hoping that you've really enjoyed the content as well. And if you did, please run over to iTunes and provide a rating and or review. It will go a long way in helping us continuously build our listenership up so that we can provide you with excellent content regarding fat loss, weight management, and just an overall healthy lifestyle. Thanks so much. Have a great night.